260 I'm sorry, I ruined your spiel. 260 million years ago, there was Robert. How are you guys? Good to see you. How's your day going? Good? Oh, good. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you so much for coming out to Australia Zoo. It's great to see you all. And it's great to see Bluey on his way out. Here he is. Now, Bluey is an absolute legend of a croc. We love him. I think I say that about every crocodile, but Bluey's just a wild, wild unit. You really never know what he's going to do. Bluey is at that stage where he's kind of on the cusp between, you know, that small, whippy, really fast kind of crocodile into that really big bloke stage. Once a croc gets over 12 foot, they start to fill out, they get big, they're holding a territory, they're dominant males, and Bluey's coming into that size. So he's still very fast, but he's got a lot of size, a lot of weight behind him, and he knows that he means business. He's such a cool crocodile. Today, what we want to do is teach you about crocs and how to stay safe in crocodile territory, because that goes hand in hand with croc conservation. Now, as Australians, we're lucky enough to share territory with crocodiles, and it's pretty simple to avoid crocs. If you don't want to get into a conflict with a crocodile, all you got to do is avoid the water, because that's where crocodiles hunt. They're not chasing you down on land 100 miles an hour. You've got to get within that strike range. So that's what we'll do here. As you approach, the closer you get to the water, the more danger you're in. Hamish and I here, we're both in that danger zone. Where Jimmy is back there, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. But the ultimate rule of what not to do in croc territory is to enter the water with a croc. Very dangerous, and it's a really dumb idea. Let's give it a go, yeah. Mum's not here, so it doesn't matter. All right, now as Bluey comes out, in all seriousness, he's using some really interesting tactics to sneak up on his prey. And today I'm his prey, so he's listening, he's feeling for the vibrations that I send out, and he starts to get keen. But as he gets really grumpy and really riled up, he's all yours, Hamish.
Jeez, thanks, mate. Come on. There we go, give it up for Bluey. Now that was a pretty good strike, and Bluey can strike with the tip of his nose to the base of his tail, and a croc will do that so hard and fast that no animal in the Australian bush is going to be able to avoid that attack. But the real thing that gets them rolled up is really getting in their territory. So Robert, how about we do a little replay? You want to get back in the water?
Get back in the water, all right. What could possibly go wrong?
Who wants to see Robert get back in the water?
All right, let's see how we go. All right. Hey, boy. Hey, Bluey. How you going, mate? All right, now we're going to see if we can set up another strike with Bluey here. And you've got to keep in mind that crocodiles, it's all about the ambush. They wait for the perfect moment. But, see that? Bluey's smart. Very, very smart. This is not his first rodeo, and he knows the only way to get the big piece of food, which is me, the person feeding, is to actually lure you into a false sense of security. And that's exactly what he's doing here. What we're going to try and do is set up a good strike with Bluey. I'm going to pull him back over this way and hit him over there. Now, we're going to slow things down and just watch. Notice how he doesn't make a ripple on the surface, not one ripple. And when he pops up, he only reveals a small portion of his body. His eyes, nose and ears are all above the surface. Hey, big boy, whoa! There's the strike. Up here, big boy. Up here, Bluey. Stop looking at my legs, Blue. Stop looking at my legs. You really make me nervous. So it's that game that crocs play. You see, he does that explosion out of the water, and then he just sits there. And it's a game called Come Closer. It's a sweet game, but you only play it once. Good boy, Bluey. Give it up for him, mate. What a legend. All right, now, crocodiles have got a solid strike and a lot of speed behind them, but their main weapon is their jaw pressure. They've got 3,000 pounds per square inch of closing pressure in that head. Whenever they grab, it's not coming out. Really powerful predators. We're going to show you another tactic that crocs will use to catch their prey. Over to you, mate.
Now, this is something that we call the tail walk, and this is by no means a trick that we've had to teach our crocs. This is a completely natural hunting method that they used from day one out of the egg. Because when Bluey hatched, he was only about 15 to 20 centimetres long, And at that size, the crocs are not an apex predator. In fact, they're more likely to be getting eaten by the animals around them. And that could be birds, fish, bigger crocs, snakes, lizards, you name it. But they've also got to get themselves a bite to eat. Bang. Have a go at that. Give them a round of applause.
Good on you, Bluey.
Now, this method is something that they will do when they're a really little croc, but also a fully grown croc. So they'll hang out in the river, they'll plant their feet on the base of the pond, they'll look up, just exposing the top of their head, and they'll wait for an animal to come out over the top of them. And for a little croc, that might be little frogs, insects, birds, things like that. As they get bigger, their food size gets bigger as well, and they'll move up to hanging out underneath flying fox colonies, perhaps even a bird colony, maybe silly zookeepers hanging out over the water's edge. Yeah, how good is that? Now, it's absolutely critical when you are up in Northern Australia, you've got to be wary of that tail-walking crocodile.
All right, let's see if we can sneak past here. Hey, Bluey. All right, now what we're going to do is try and show you another strike here with Bluey and dispel a bit of a myth. You know, keep in mind, Bluey's one of the fastest crocs that we have at Australia Zoo on land. But even still, once he's done that initial strike, hey, big boy, hey, Blue, what do you reckon? Ooh, he's being funny today. He's being real funny. Now you can see with Bluey, he's a little bit loath to come out of the water, and the reason why is because he's been out 3 different times. He kind of knows the jig is up. Crocodiles, we say it time and again, but they're really not built to run you down on land. It's all about the ambush. That's really what they're built for. But what I'm going to try and do here is kind of replicate what an animal would be doing in the wild. They come down and they're going to be sussing out a potential spot to have a drink. He feels the vibrations and he kind of hones in on that. He's working. Hey, big boy, you want me to get a bit closer? That's not going to happen. And he's working off vibrations. So watch what happens. He sees that initial bit of movement, then it's all about vibration, and he plants with his feet. Once he gets into that shallow water, all the power comes from his tail. But he'll plant his feet, he opens his eyes just above the surface, and he has a little look. Hey, big boy. Hey, Blue. What do you reckon, mate? What do you think, big boy? Oh, you're being so funny. But have a look at this. I'm going to take him out nice and slow, and you can see I'm walking backwards much quicker than Bluey is coming forward. No worries at all. Yeah, give it up for him, eh? What a legend. Good on you, Bluey. And as he gets back into the water, see that big long tail that he's got there? Those short, sorry I touched your tail. Those short little stumpy legs, it's really hard for him to get back into the water. Once he's back in the water though, look at him. He's just an absolute torpedo. And he knows that he needs business again. He just doesn't want to stay out on land very long. So the message is very simple. To avoid crocodiles, all you've got to do is avoid the water. You stay at least 5 meters back from the water's edge, you avoid that strike range, and of course, don't overhang the surface of the water, don't go swimming in crocodile territory, just use a little bit of common sense and you'll be just fine. The reason why we stress this is because every time someone gets grabbed by a croc, it's usually pretty catastrophic for the human life involved, and also for the crocs, because people want to get rid of them. They want to kill them, they want to cull them out of the ecosystem, and they think that's going to solve the problem. It's really not. If you decide to enforce the cull of crocodiles, you're just going to destabilize the ecosystem to a very dangerous degree. This is the apex predator, the very top of the food chain. And if you want to remove them, well, you can kiss goodbye the amazing fishing that we have up north, the incredible and unique biodiversity that we have in our northern waterways, because the crocodile, they're policing the river system. They are the head honcho at the very top of the food chain. So we need them for, you know, what are you doing, Bluey? You're being funny. You can see there, see how he sets up. Now what we watch for is his feet. When he gets really keen, he'll position with those back feet and kind of spring off there. But see, Bluey's still kind of keen, and I think I know why. It's because he knows what's coming next. This is his favourite part of the show. What do you guys reckon about upping the ante a little bit and giving Bluey something big that he can really sink his teeth into? What do you reckon? Yeah, let's do it. All right, that's enough talk. Let's do it. Thanks, mate. Over to you, Hamish. Here we go.
Now, this is what we call the death roll. Now, crocs in the wild, these guys are an aquatic ambush predator, which means they live in and around the water's edge, and they've been evolving for over 200 million years to catch their food, just like you're about to see now.
I'm going to get him back into the water, because he's really keen here. Hey, big boy. And he's not looking at the food, he's looking straight at me. I know, get back in your water, mate. Get back in your water. Whoa, he's just so keen, he's so on. Okay, let's see if we can show ya a good strike. Hey, big boy, see if we can get him to submerge here and set up as he would in the wild. All right, here we go. That's better. Hey, there you go. Now he's got it. Whoop. It's like eating with the world's largest chopsticks. There we go, he's got it.
All right, now have a look as Bluey takes this back into the water. This is where the crocodile brings out absolutely all the stops to grab himself a bite to eat. His first method is violent head shakes. He needs to try to use his power to drag that animal off its feet, and there it is, the death roll. Absolutely the most effective method that a crocodile can use is to literally flip that animal right around, drag it off its feet, drag it back into the water, and then as Bluey works to work on that prey, he closes his eyes, he gets down, there's another one, the death roll. Have a look at him go, give it up for him. Absolutely awesome. Now he's going to use every single bit of that body. There it is, the third one. He's going to use that body, use that massive tail to add to his weight. There's another one. Oh, Bluey's absolutely on fire. What do you reckon, mate? You want to try for a fifth one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Easy as. Righto, let's give him his food. There you go, Bluey. Good work, mate.
There we go. Now, notice there how Bluey, he doesn't swallow that food underwater and he doesn't chew. It just goes straight down his throat. And that's because crocodiles can't chew. They don't have the ability. They've got what's called a palatal valve. They've got kind of like a backwards facing tongue. And that acts as a perfect little valve system so no water can rush down his throat. But he's got to open up his jaws and have his head high above the surface to get something that big down his gullet. But there we go. What do you reckon, Bluey? Are you tired? I am. It's kind of like playing tug of war, you know, with your dog, except he's 400 kilos and wants to eat you. Isn't he just beautiful? Well, I want to say a big thank you to all of you guys for coming out here and hopefully learning a little bit more about crocodiles. Learning that we don't have to hate them and fear them and worry they're going to run you down and try and attack you. It's not how crocs work. They are a truly integral animal and very, very worthy of our love and appreciation. And importantly, if you leave the croc alone, they'll leave you alone. It's as simple as that. But you know, all that we do here is to continue legacy. The legacy that was started by the greatest wildlife warrior on the face of the earth, the bloke on the big screen, my dad. So thank you for making sure his dream continues. Crocs row! Have a good one. See you.